Hello, Carl here with Sustainability Theory News. Today we're going to be talking about how to make it easier to raise chickens, specifically through automation and computer controls. We're over at IoT-Foundry.com. They're talking about building a door controller for a chick saw. A chick saw is like a rig saw, but instead of transporting people, you're transporting chickens. You got a couple of bicycle wheels here and a couple of handles. It's for use in management-intensive grazing or movable chicken pens, which can be handy in a number of different applications. But back to the door. They use a simple Arduino controller. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but you could use a Raspberry Pi, which is a little bit more expensive and a bit overkill. They thought about using a winch to open and close the door and using some of these read sensors, security door sensors, magnetic sensors, to tell when the door was open or closed. But as you can see at the bottom of the ground, there's not too many places you can put the bottom sensor. So it was going to be hard to stop the winch going up and down. So they decided to do something out of Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon, a bottom door, and using an actuator. So that way it's easier to stop the motor when the door's open or closed. Now chickens naturally like to come back to their roost as the sun goes down. So they set up the controller to a simple photo sensor to tell when it's light out, when it's dark out. And that way, when the light comes out, the door slowly opens. When it gets darker, the door closes. Now, this is just one aspect of raising chickens. Of course, you gotta give them some water and some food. So we're gonna go, this is also a different idea using the same principle, but on a regular chicken coop that just slides the door up and down. In case you don't have a movable chicken coop, you wanna retrofit your current one. Another way to do it is a gas-powered piston that opens when it gets hotter out. This might not work in a lot of places if there's not a big temperature differential between night and day. And you would have to adjust it if you live in a climate that has colder winters and warmer summers. It might not work too well in the winter anyway. These are more used for automatic greenhouse vents without electricity. Now, watering your chickens. There's lots of designs for chicken waterers out here. This one, I've never seen something quite like this. It's great for multiple chickens because it gives them room to grow, or room to drink their water. Now, this page, I will link to this page in the description, has some great instructions and parts lists on how to build your own automatic chicken waterer. The hard part is feeding them. There's all sorts of ideas, of course I'll link to this page, for automatic chicken feeders. The treadle system right here is nice. So when a chicken steps on the panel, it opens up the food, and it prevents the food from getting water or fecal matter in it. But that's just half the problem. Some chickens will eat and eat and eat until there's no food left, and some chickens can even eat themselves to death. So if you just leave an unlimited amount of food out there, you might get some unhealthy chickens as a result. It might be alright for a week or two if you're going on vacation, but over the long term, you might get some obese chickens. Now this is a different idea for an automatic feeder where the door opens and closes either on a timer, maybe on a light sensor. There are a couple of different ways you could do that. This one right here is probably my favorites. I'll link to both pages. They did a simple 3D printed auger that it's sort of like an ice machine on a refrigerator that has an automatic ice dispenser on the door. The auger goes through the food and puts it into an opening, sort of like a gumball machine or a vending machine of some sort. And you can program it to dispense certain amounts. So that way, if you only have one or two chickens, you only need a little bit. If you got a bunch of chickens, hey, you get a bunch of food. So here's some great ideas. I'll link to these pages in the description to automate your chicken coops. If you have any other ideas, please leave them in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more news headlines like this, subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.